Hi, Blake Vacker here at the World Headquarters of Screen Innovations. Introduced to you two very good friends of mine, Bill Birdsall, Rob Buddy. Welcome, guys.
Well, thanks for having us, Blake.
Hey, thanks a lot, Blake.
It's great to have you here, but gosh, guys, how many places have we worked together in? I know Van Nuys, Livermore, Atlanta, Fort Lauderdale. Let's see, New Jersey, New York. I mean, we've gone literally
all over the country.
across the country.
It's
and
where
back
we
again.
haven't been more than where we have been.
There's very few places
That's
like
right.
that. That's right.
right.
And we've been working together for so long because, well, let's face it, about 6 years ago, JVC changed the two-piece projection market with the RS1, a new technology at a price point that hadn't been seen before. I mean, let's do a little history lesson. I think it's worth touching on. The RS1, the DILA technology, why was that so unique?
I think it was because it was the first three-chip projector that was under $10,000. So it was affordable for the normal homeowner that was building a home theater, or in that time, with the Screen Innovations Black Diamond, a multimedia room.
Sure, that's true. And that price point has stuck with us. And we've now seen the industry change from, well, I'd say at that point, maybe $15,000 to $25,000 was the medium for a projector price. And now what we can get for $5,000 and under, or let's say even better, around $5,000, up to even $10,000.
That's correct.
Is truly remarkable. But what we're here to do today is talk about not just the history of the technology, but also what we have new, because there's some exceptional new features in the new lineup for this year for JVC. Let's talk a little bit about your broader scope and what you have to offer now, because it's more than just one projector. You've got how many now?
We're up to 5 projectors
Five
now,
projectors in the line.
and we've introduced 4K technology at the $5,000 price point.
Which is extraordinary.
Yeah,
We're
so
going to
you
touch
get-
on that in detail here in a minute.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about the price points. We start at retail,
$34.95.
$34.95.
That's our entry-level piece.
That's the RS46.
And then we step up to around the $5,000 price point.
That's correct.
That's right.
All the way up to around $12,000, correct?
Correct.
Now, real quickly, that $12,000 price point, what's the model number for that now?
The DILA RS66.
RS66. I understand those are actually hand-selected chips. I mean, this is about as hot rod as you can get when it comes to that $12,000 price point, right?
That's correct.
That's an exceptional value. Now, one of the there's several exciting features about these projectors that I think we need to touch on. The first being the E-Shift. 4K E-Shift, 4K resolution for less than $10,000. Let's talk about how that works and what it means to be a 4K E-Shift projector.
The way the 4K works is basically the projector will take in a 1080p source, any source, whether it be a Blu-ray box, set-top box, whatever it may be, and it'll scale it out to 3840 by 2160.
So it upconverts.
It upconverts, because there's no true 4K source right now.
Right.
So with that, it upconverts any source that you have right now, the 4K resolution, and displays that.
Now, even my Netflix or Amazon
Yep.
streaming, because
Any
I've
streaming.
stopped going out and buying discs.
Yeah, Apple
Right.
TV, whatever you want to feed into the projector, it will scale it up to 4K resolution.
And 4K resolution, for those of you who aren't aware of that, we're talking about how much better than 1080p? Is it 3-4 times better?
It's 4 times better than native HD.
Now, we all remember the days when we first got 1080p where we say it's like looking at a window. 4K to me, it's like stepping through the window, taking a left, and going down the street. That's what kind of clarity we're talking about
That's
here.
good.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Now, for you more in the inclined to be the professional view, if I can stand 2 feet away from a screen, 144-inch, 235 aspect ratio, and not see a pixel, I consider that a good thing.
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
It's a very good thing.
Now, let's talk about the value proposition of that, because I just mentioned, on a Black Diamond, we go out to 144 inches in a 235 aspect ratio, up to 115 inches in 16 by 9. So let's focus on that 16 by 9 image real quickly. It's remarkable to me that we can get a 4K image, 115 inches diagonal, which is over 100% larger than a standard television, a 90-inch, for instance, or even 130% larger than, I believe, an 80. But we're able to do 4K at a sub $10,000 price together.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Game changer.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely done it again. I mean, with JVC, has done it again with this 4K ability at that price point. You can actually have a 4K resolution television in your living room utilizing a Black Diamond for less than $10,000. Now, you've also not only revolutionized the 4K market, let's talk about what you've done with 235.
What we've done with the 235 is we've actually got rid of the anamorphic lens and allow us to do lens memory to do different aspect ratios. So with the newer projectors, you can actually do 10 different lens memory positions, or basically 10 different aspect ratios. So if you have different formats, if you're doing 235, 2.4, 4x3, it doesn't matter. The projector will zoom in and out to fit the screen appropriately. So.
You know, it's funny, we still mention 4x3, and we kind of get away from that, but remember Casablanca, a lot of the classics that we're watching on Netflix or Amazon Prime,
Yeah, the old black and white stuff
it's still
some
4x3.
Yes.
And to be able to do that is actually pretty remarkable. And so what we're talking about is essentially taking that 235 image that we normally see with black bars on the top and the bottom and zooming that to fill a 235 aspect ratio screen, the widescreen. For those of you not familiar with 235 or anamorphic, it's in fact the screen we have behind us. Is that going to be the standard now? Do you see that as being moving forward, as giving the customer the option of that infinite aspect ratios, if you will?
It's definitely an option, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, it is, because one of the biggest complaints from the homeowner was, I want to get rid of those black bars.
Sure.
And enter the black diamond again, you don't see the black bars as much. They're not as noticeable that they would be on a white screen. So, but now the homeowner can get that 235 image completely filled within the screen. So that is a big plus.
And that's what the director intended, because the idea, right, behind 235, that ultra wide screen, is to give you a wider peripheral
well,
vision,
that's because
correct?
most movies are shot in 235. They're
There you go.
formatted down to 16:9 for television.
Right. In fact, what is it? The number, about 80% of your action movies, your,
yes.
your
It's
big
above
blockbusters
80%. Yeah.
are shot in that 235 aspect ratio. So it's important that you're able to do that. And what we're excited about, obviously, is with the brightness of the JVC, its ability to do 4K, its ability to do 235 without a complicated lens system, working with the black diamond, again, the auto masking is built into the system, if you will. This can exist in a living room or a family room, a multi-purpose room. It doesn't have to be the dedicated dark room bat cave anymore, does it?
Not anymore.
No.
Not at all. So that's a very exciting value proposition, because let's face it, if you don't want to have to build a dedicated room to a theater, it's great to have it in the family room where you are spending all your time.
Yeah,
right?
dedicated theaters will always be. Person builds
Absolutely.
a dedicated theater, that's what it is, that's what it's meant to be. But multimedia rooms are the future, where the kids are playing gaming over there, you're watching a football game here, a guy shooting pool in the back.
Right.
That's really what it's all about now.
I think so too, and that's where we see the market trend happening is, again, multi-purpose rooms, multimedia rooms, if you will. Now, lens shift, not the most exciting topic in the world, obviously, but I do want to point it out, because this technology, that's again something else the JVC helped revolutionize, makes it very, very simple for the projector to be set up and maintained. What I mean by that is you can literally, with the remote, move the image up, down, left, right without having to keystone the image. I see that as a part of the value proposition, because one of the JVCs that I installed for a friend of mine, the kids' playroom's upstairs. They're always bouncing up there, and eventually the things kind of shift. And to be able to just go, burp, 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 that's my actual sound effect for that.
That's a technical term.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's again something that it's important to understand, because it does make it very easy for your integrator or for yourself to install the system. What goes into that, though? That can't be simple. I mean, what's going on in that tube that's moving around?
Well, it's all done optically. It's a mechanical adjustment, and we're just shifting the light through the lens. So when we're doing the vertical offset or horizontal offset, it's just an optical adjustment, basically.
Okay.
And so that's how we're
You make it sound so simple.
Well, it is.
It is.
But
It's all magic mirrors and stuff.
it doesn't make an actual grinding sound like
No,
it's
it does
moving.
not. It's actually very
It's very
quiet.
smooth and quiet,
Yeah.
and it usually from start to finish takes about 12 to 14 seconds.
Well, I think finally the biggest number, the most honest number that I've been able to glean out of the JVC spec sheets is the fact that you don't use that term dynamic contrast ratio. Dynamic contrast, which dynamic contrast can basically mean anything the marketing department comes up with. You use the term native contrast because obviously you're very proud of what that is. Talk about how DILA technology does blacks.
You want to discuss?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
You can run by. I'll got another one up my sleeve.
Well, with JVC, we've always done native contrast, so we never use a dynamic iris. So whatever you get from one frame to another is a true dynamic range of the image. So you're not going to offset your blacks, to improve your whites. So you'll get the full range. So if you're looking at a street scene in the middle of the night, the lights will be nice and bright, and the black levels will be nice and dark. So you'll see the full range of video, whatever they're trying to show you.
And you'll still get the definition in your blacks.
Yeah.
Without loss of that because of it. So your bright whites, like a headlights of a car in a black car, you'll be able to see the whole thing. Where an iris, dynamic iris, is opening and closing. So that light is always changing on the image.
Sure, that makes total sense. Total sense. Well, game changer again. You've got the most affordable 4K product on the market. You've got a product that's easy to set up, the richest, deepest blacks of just about any projector around. Congratulations, guys. I think you did it again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We got
Thanks for
another
coming
winner.
down.
No, thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, I'll see you next week.
Where?
I think Fort Lauderdale. Or in Atlanta? Yeah, I think so. Well, thanks again for joining us
Okay.
here at the Screen Innovations World Headquarters. Have a great day.